Hey y'all, it's Curly Girl Coach here, and we are going to be finishing up some 2-strand twists. We have already shampooed, conditioned, and used the LOC method. And what that is, we started out straight from the shampoo bowl. We started with Design Essentials, Bamboo and Silk HCO leave-in conditioner. Then we went in with um, Influence Shea Butter Moisture Lock as our moisturizer. And then lastly, we used biotin and black castor oil as our oil. So we use the LCO method, which is leave-in, cream moisturizer, and then oil to lock all that moisture in. And then we are going to be twisting using Design Essentials Almond and Avocado Curl Enhance Mousse. All of these products can be found on my website at www.curlygirlcoach.com. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now we're going to be twisting her hair wet today. You see the sections that we've already done here, and we use the bricklay method, which means the twist on top will fall into the part of the twist below it. So we do that to keep it looking pretty full while she's wearing it down. So let's get to our next part. Now you can do these as big or as small as you would like. It is totally up to you, but we're doing hers kind of big, not too big, somewhere in between. Now we're going to be detangling each section as we go. So we did not detangle her entire head already. We just detangle each section as we are twisting it. So yeah, let's bring that down a little bit. And to keep those parts relatively straight, I like to use a comb with a metal tip, which is helpful. And then if you do need some more moisture, if the section has dried out too much, you can go back through with your leave-in conditioner, use that detangle brush, or with your wide tooth comb, hold it and comb through. Now it's going to be essential that you be sure the hair is nice and detangled, because that's going to make your twist look even better. If the hair is still tangled, the twists can tend not to look as smooth, and that means the twist out is not going to be as seamless. So then we're going to use our mousse and use a lot of it. Thank y'all for joining. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, and be sure to subscribe as well. So whenever y'all see the mousse, it's over here. Just know that it is the Design Essentials Curl Enhance Mousse, and I've already used the other products. Some people like to twist their hair dry, but I do prefer to twist on wet hair because I think it makes the twist out last longer. It's nice and moisturized. And I'm gonna put this out the way just for y'all. Usually I would keep it down, but so y'all can see what's happening. And if you need to comb back through to make sure it's nice and smooth, you can do that. And then you just take 2 sections of hair and start twisting down. You probably can't see, but what I am doing is twisting the hair while I'm twisting it. So each piece, I'm kind of twisting it as I'm twisting the hair down. So it makes those twists nice and smooth, and you'll see them kind of still, the elasticity, you'll see it get nice and juicy and draw up after I'm finished twisting, which that's what you want. So you twist the hair at the root, and then you go through and start twisting. And of course, you're gonna continue that until you get all the way to the end. But my favorite thing about two-strand twists is the twist out. The twist out is so pretty. The curls are bouncy, and you just really get a 2-in-1 kind of hairstyle, which who doesn't love that? So most of my ladies who wear two-strand twist, they wear them for about 3 weeks total. So maybe during the first 2 weeks, they wear it twisted, and then that last week, then you just wear it loose. I did forgot to mention, but I'm sure you saw me, you make sure you twirl the hair around the ends, and that just helps the curls to pop. You can wear the hair down, or really however you want to. But having relatively straight parts just allows people to be able to have a little bit more versatility when it comes to styling options, which is why I like to twist on a part in the front, whichever direction the person wears their hair, really. But it's really simple. Anyone with curly hair can achieve this style. I think it does work better with at least type 3 curly hair, because you do want some thickness to it, to the curl itself. Like, you see her hair is pretty curly, but you're really stretching the natural curl out. But yes, I do mini twists a lot on my own hair, and that's really the same thing as this. It's just really tiny twists. And they just turn out so bouncy, have a lot of elasticity, which is a sign of healthy hair. So let's do our last row in the top. Yeah, I think this will be our last row in the top. And we'll just go ahead and spray it down. Now, she will sit under the dryer before she goes home, and y'all won't see that part because, you know, she does have a few pieces in the front that are straighter. And if you are one of those people who has some pieces that the curls are not as strong in the front, you're just gonna add a perm rod to it, just so it mimics that same curl that you have here. So you want to make sure it's nice and saturated with your mousse. Part it. Now you'll notice these parts on this last row are going to be smaller together, and that's just because the section is wider. So because this section is wider than the previous sections, we want to make sure that the twists have a very similar look as the other ones. And I could have made this 2 rows, but the reason that I didn't is because she would have had 2 rows of mini twists, and I didn't want that. I still wanted her to have similar lengths to all her twists. So then we'll just make them the length smaller than the ones before it, so they'll look very similar when her hair is down. And with that hair being smooth, split the section in 2. And those 2 sections do not have to be perfect. I'm gonna show you my simple way to take a looser twist in a second. And it only works if you don't borrow. And what I mean by borrowing is, once I split the hair into 2 different sections, I like to keep the hair in those same 2 sections. So you do want to make sure those 2 sections are pretty even. Like, I don't want to take hair from one section or the other. To me, when you do that, it makes the twist, it gives more frizz while you're taking it out. So try to get rows that are, or 2 pieces that are as even as you can while you're twisting, and that way you can prevent that. And when you're taking your 2 sections, doesn't have to be even, or the part doesn't have to be straight, that is. Yeah, it does not matter. But you just want to make sure that the 2 pieces are as even as possible. And you see how each twist is sitting in the row below it. That just decreases the amount of parts that you see. Like, you see that twist just falls right nicely in between that part. So okay, and these will be our last 2 up here. Comb that out. I actually do this style on myself quite often, and when I do, I always think it's a good idea when I start, but by the time I'm done, I'm a little bit regretting that I started. But you know, you're in too deep. But I think it's a nice protective style. It allows her to continue to get to her scalp, moisturize her scalp, and it's super easy to take care of. And we could do the twist bigger than this as well. A lot of, or some ladies like to go ahead and twist the hair out. So they'll get it twisted, sit under the dryer, and twist it out immediately. And it gives a nice, uniformed, pretty wave. So that's always nice too, but we're not gonna do that today. we are just going to do her twist. And I appreciate y'all tuning in to watch me do it. So this is the back. So they're pretty neat to begin with. And let's go ahead and work with the sides. This side has started to dry out some, so just give it a light spray. And you'll notice what I was talking about when I said that some of these side pieces are a little bit straighter. And I'll show you what we do about that in just a moment. Remember, when you are detangling natural curly hair, you want to be sure that you're starting from the ends and working your way to the roots. That way you're kind of able to get rid of any of those tangles that you see. And then we just twist the hair. And twirling the hair around your finger on the end kind of does two things. The first thing it does is it allows the hair to seal the twist in and keep it from unraveling. The second thing that it does, it encourages the curl on the end of the hair. So got twofold, but sometimes in certain places on the hair, especially when you have people that wear their hair straight and curly, or you just have people with multiple textures in their hair, the curl might not be as strong on the end in certain places. And that's where that perm rod comes in. So even in the places where the curl is, like you see how loose that is in comparison to this one, like that's a huge difference. So though it still has curl, it's not uniform like some of the other ones. So we're just gonna put a rod in, and I don't do that until the end for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to have to use a ton of rods. So I might have multiple twists on the same rod, and it's just easy to get those pieces together at the end. So that's what we do. These partings are about 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And some people actually start locking their hair with 2-strand twists. That is not what we're doing here today. But if you did keep them without combing them, they absolutely would form locks. But I think this is one of my faves because the moisture, like the moisture retention with 2-strand twists is just unmatched to me, especially if you're one of those people who might struggle with moisture retention. It's also a protective style, so it's really giving you the opportunity to let that hair breathe, take a break. And yeah. I'm gonna let y'all get a little closer while I'm twisting. Part that section off, detangle those ends, and then take those 2 sections as even as they can be. And I'm really just twisting the hair around itself as I twist. And you want it to be down, as far down as you can, and then wrap it around your finger, boom, to pop that curl, and go to the next one. Those first two twists, you want the hair to be as close together as you can, you know, and it just keeps it in place. It keeps it close to the scalp as it can be from the beginning. Another thing that helps with the moisture is, remember I told you I used the LCO method before I added the mousse. That moisturizer, just trying to take pieces from the other one, but that moisturizer, that oil, all that is so helpful in locking in that moisture. Twirl it around your fingers. And you see that one, it virtually had very little curl. I am going to keep parting vertically or horizontally, rather. See that part? But because her actual part in her hair is on a diagonal, these parts here are going to start getting smaller. And so the last part will be a small little triangle. And the reason I do that is because I want her to have her natural solid part to begin with. And her part that she wears is on a slight diagonal. But we're gonna saturate it with that mousse. And this particular mousse has a really nice hold to it without being crunchy. But I like the hold because it just allows the twist out to be super defined, and the curls in the twist are super defined too. Like I know some ladies that do their wash and go with this curl enhanced mousse. Someone with maybe type 3 curls or curls that are not as tight, the curl enhanced mousse is great for wash and go. Someone like me and like my client sitting here, we would need something a little bit heavier, like a gel-based product for wash and go, because you just want a stronger hold. But for a twist style or flat twist or 2-strand twist, let's see, how bad do you think my hair will shrink if I use curl cream plus gel and let it air dry? I have 4B or C hair. All right, so these are the steps that you should take for your wash and go. It will help lock in moisture, and it will also help with a little bit of elongation. After you shampoo your hair, you're going to want to condition it, deep condition it if you like, and then after you rinse your conditioner, you're going to use the LCO method. And what that is, you're going to start with a spray leave-in conditioner. Next, you're going to use a cream moisturizer. And lastly, you're going to use an oil. If you don't know which oils to use, I do have a free download in my bio, and it's a free oils guide. You can take a look at that. After that, I would suggest you use you said a gel-based product. Yes, I would use a gel and either comb through each section with like one of the detangle brushes with all the bristles. That's nice. And yeah, and then you can let it air dry from there, or you can diffuse. Even if I do use a diffuser, what I like to do is sit under the dryer first for a little while and then go ahead and diffuse after. So yes, you can use a cream, but I would use the leave-in, the cream, and the oil as a base, and then go back through and use your gel. Like, just like I'm combing through like that, that's how you're gonna comb through with your product for your wash and go. So, and before you do this cream and gel, put a little bit in your hand and mix them together to see if they form white clumps. If they form white clumps, then those products do not like each other and they do not mix. Okay? If they don't, they are safe to put in your hair together or later. I hope that helps. But curl creams, I actually like to use them on, you're welcome. Curl creams, I actually like to use them on dry hair. Like, for if I were doing these 2-strand twists from dry hair, then I would use a curl cream. Or if I were doing flat twist from dry hair, I would use a curl cream. I found that hair with tighter or stronger textures, usually you want the moisture, and you're going to use those gels and those wet products on wet hair versus those creams. But a cream moisturizer is your friend, because it just gives you what you need and helps you lock in that moisture. I think most girls with curly hair or natural hair, that's one thing we struggle with, the moisture, because curly hair is packed with protein and it can tend to be so dry. So finding products and methods that allow you to help lock that moisture in, it can be a game changer for your natural hair routine and moisture retention and growth. So which is another reason I like twisting wet, because the moisture retention, you're not having to stretch the hair. And when you think about it, twisting it wet is similar to like setting the hair. Like, the difference between a roller set and curling your hair with a curling iron, right? Like, when you do a roller set, we're gonna turn her to this other side. When you do a roller set and the hair is wet and then it dries, those curls, when you take them out, they last so much longer. Let's get a good angle than if you just use a curling iron. Same thing with twisting your hair. Okay, I guess that works for now. Yeah, same thing with twisting your hair. Wet. Versus twisting it dry. The twist out has more definition, more moisture, and it lasts longer. It does, however, take longer to dry, which in the summer, it's not a huge deal because most people are just gonna leave dry or leave wet rather and let it air dry. In the winter or in the colder months, you know, I don't recommend that. And you know, it's getting later here, so I don't recommend people lay down on their twists until they're fully dry, because you don't want to smush those curls on your ends. You want to let those dry before you lay on them, because you want them to lock in their shape. When you see those first two twists, I do them pretty close to the scalp, and that just helps retain that tightness to the scalp. Twirl it around the finger and let it go. Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Y'all don't forget to like. I post videos quite often about natural hair, curl routines. Yes, my book will be coming out this Black Friday. So if you are someone you know or interested in healthy natural hair, go ahead and click the link in my bio to join the wait list. And we are going to continue in the same direction that we did. Let's back up so you can see. There we go. Detangle. Add our mousse. And I do like to add mousse to each section by section, because I think it helps it from drying out, as opposed to adding mousse to the whole head, and it makes sure that the product is nice and saturated in each section. I don't know if there's a such thing as too much product when you are doing natural hair in these kind of styles, because you want the moisture, you want the product, you want the hold. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button for me. And remember, all the products that I'm using here can be found at curlygirlcoach.com. And today we used Design Essentials HCO leave-in conditioner, Influence Moisture Lock, my favorite moisturizer. It's super creamy and allows that moisture to get locked in curly hair. It can be used alone as a styler. It's just completely versatile. And then we used biotin and black castor oil. It's an oil mixture, and that is from Design Essentials as well. And then lastly, we are using Design Essentials Curl Enhance Mousse. Um, which you can use that for roller sets, wash and goes, two strand twists. It's completely versatile product. And that's what you see me putting on every section. And I'm detangling each section as I go. I did not go through and detangle her entire head before I started, which is actually something I generally do, but I didn't today. I don't detangle a full head either when I'm doing a wash and go. I just section it off and detangle and pop curls at the same time. So but you do want to make sure the hair is tangle free. Because that's just going to keep those twists pretty. We're not quite done yet, but I do appreciate y'all tuning in. Helps pass the time, and I'm glad we could have this time together. And if you have any questions about hair, please don't hesitate to put it down in the comments. Okay. Our last few sections. And even when you're parting through, if you hit some tangles, don't force it, just pull it on through with your fingers. That's going to be the best way to keep from breaking the hair. And we're going to detangle the section. sure the brush can glide through easily. Remember, it already has some product on it from our LCO. Now we're just saturating it with our mousse. And just keep on twisting. So it's how to decide. She does not have a lot of straight pieces, but she does have a couple. But deciding what size rod to use, you really want to look at the curls or at the way her hair curls naturally. The small ringlets at the bottom of the 2-strand twist that are just curling on their own with her natural curl pattern. Oh yeah, well, send the video to your mom and I talk about all the products that I'm using and really how I achieve this look. So yeah, please share it. But so yeah, you're just looking at the curl pattern that she naturally has. So if you know anything about perm rods, the different colors are different size rods. So just looking at her hair now, I know I'm gonna either use a blue or yellow rod on the ends that I would like a stronger curl. And it's only a couple of them, but we'll put the ones that are close in proximity, we'll put those together. I think we've got two more sections. Let me let y'all get a little closer. Two more sections, and we're just using the same steps that we have. We're gonna detangle from the ends to the roots, and then add our curl mousse. You can literally do these as large or as small as you like. Of course, remember, you want to make sure those two sections are as close in size as possible so you're not borrowing from the other side. And as you're twisting, if they get tangled, just move that hair out the way and twirl it around your finger. I am located in Greensboro, North Carolina. The first two twists at the root, you want to twist those pretty close to the scalp. And then you can just go. Keep on twisting. And once you're getting into it, it goes by pretty fast. Even if you're doing your own hair, I just turn on the movie and get to it. But twisting an entire head, depending on the size, um, we've been on 45 minutes, so her entire head probably has taken me hour and 15. So not too bad. When I do the minis, yes, this is a quick style. Anyone can do it. How long it takes is really going to depend how large you do the twist. I like to do really, really tiny twists on myself, mini twists. And for the time investment, I think for the time investment it takes to put them in, you're going to get about 3 good weeks. The first 2 weeks, you'll wear the twist as is, and then, you know, style them in whatever way you like. And then that last week, you take the twist out and you get a really pretty style. What products am I using? Okay, so after the shampoo and condition, I started with the LCO method. So I used Design Essentials leave-in conditioner. And then after the Design Essentials leave-in conditioner, then I went in with Influence Moisture Lock as my cream moisturizer. And then I went in with Design Essentials black castor oil for my oil. And then after that, I'm actually twisting with Design Essentials almond avocado curling hand smooths. So it's this one. Can you grow your hair from these? Absolutely. Absolutely. One reason I love 2-strand twists is because it is a great way to lock in moisture. And for a lot of people with natural hair, moisture is something that we struggle with. But if you can get your moisture levels under control, if you can figure out how to retain moisture in your hair, you can absolutely grow it. And it's a protective style. So with it being a protective style, that means you're not manipulating your hair as much. And you're giving your hair a chance to thrive and to grow. So yes, some people do choose to start locks from these. She is not, but some people do start locks from 2-strand twists. So yeah, I think it's a great way to grow your hair. And we are going to pop a rod on the ends of some of these curls. Let me grab them. This is our last twist, but we're gonna put some rods on. Can you see? Yeah. So what I was saying about the different size rods, I told you, so you see how big white is? And then you got yellow, you got blue. We're gonna go with blue. And these curls I'm okay with those sizes. If you can see, they're all roughly around the same size. But on this other side, I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay, on this other side, you see we got a couple right here that are not as curly as their friends around. So we're just gonna take these two pieces, wrap them around the bottom of that rod. Now we're not gonna twist all the way up, just the bottom, to give it the same look as the ones around it. So we'll use that one there. And then this one is okay. This one and this one, they're okay. The curl is okay, but it's still not as curly as I want it. So we're just gonna add it right here. And stop, not halfway, but maybe a quarter of the way up. And then we'll take this one here. Let's twist that down a little bit more. Yeah, you see that? That curl is not as strong as I want it. So we just add a little rod just at the bottom to help it out. So she's gonna sit under the dryer until it dries completely. Then I'll go through, add some oil to her scalp and to her hair as well. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Just pour a little bit of that oil in your hands, emulsify, rub it together, and just rub through the hair. But you see how much elasticity and even stretch she got from the 2-strand twist, which is a nice way to stretch your hair out. Now we'll add just a little bit of S3 spray. S3 spray, it's just a little spray on oil. It's gonna add some shine to it, and it has some UV protection, which is nice. So don't forget to share with anyone that you feel like this video could be helpful for. You can follow me at Curly Girl Coach or find all the products at curlygirlcoach.com. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.